bending. Now it's the last sentence, last word of your ending. No pretending, I don't fabricate or fantasize. Before I execute, I meditate and strategize. Sing your mama roses, hold the pain of passerby. I get the bread, that's the only way I'm pacified.
Carolina born from a Carolina breed. Welcome to Carolina where them boys stack cheese.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the Sweet.
Yeah, sure.
Sweet podcast, man. It's the Sweet.
Still corona free
Podcast, man. Still corona free indeed, man. Sound wisdom, examining everyone's perspective. They go to Corona Bump.
Yes, sir.
Which we have now adopted into our culture and society as a way of greeting.
Yes, sir.
Men.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, shit, like, yeah, you say nothing, you ain't lying.
I don't know if we ever gonna get back to open hand.
That's for real.
For real, bro.
Shit's real out here,
It's real out here, man. Hey, you see both of
We're
them.
gonna start doing that shit like they used to do in, what was that, Demolition Man and
Demolition
shit.
Man.
You know? Boy, see that air doubt.
Gotta get your mind right, man. I just want to point out the
exclusivity. Oh yeah, I forgot.
You
know, I told y'all exclusivity.
The BTGA.
You see, I got that thing custom right here. Y'all can't see the bottom.
The exclusivity, man.
But I got the thing on the bottom out here looking fly than the motherfucker. My design, telling you. Sak original. Oh yeah, you see the difference on the back.
Whole nother level, man.
You see how we doing it, man. Get you a custom shirt. Real talk. Pick you some shoes out. Get you a color. Get something made, man.
There it is, man. The Sweet Podcast, man. We coming to you like this here today, man. We gonna talk about the interpretation of conversation.
Interpretation. Our interpretation.
Our. Sweet. Our interpretation.
Like, what you mean by that, bro?
Man, we gonna talk about like when you trying to convey a message, how are you going about conveying that message? I like to look at different ways people talk, you know what I'm saying? They might talk with their hands. A lot of people talk with a lot of ums and a lot of likes and a lot of ums. There is something you can do to go overboard with that. It's also good to look at possibly taking a public speaking class, and that can show you different ways you might be weak in a conversation that you had no clue about. Because if you have no idea of a concept, there's no way you can kind of start thinking to get better or figure out whether or not you have a weakness in that department.
That's word, man. I mean, like I was telling him, we had a conversation before. Like, I learned this from somebody younger. You know, when I was younger, shall I say. It was somebody I heard speaking, and he emphasized that. And for some reason, it just stuck in my brain, and I always tried to, like, teach myself ways of conveying a conversation, or, like, if I have to take a pause, different ways of doing it without saying and like I said, what they call fillers. You know, using as much fillers in a conversation, or as meaning as less fillers as I could, should I say. So, but like I said, there's different ways you can do it, but like I said, don't also get it twisted. Certain people that use ums and fillers in the conversation, it's a certain tact. With, you know what I'm saying, doing that as well, you know.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you know, if that's part of your persona and that's part of who you are, you know, and there's a way you can still convey your message without, like I say, going overboard with that. Definitely, you know what I'm saying, work that into it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather be around somebody that says, this is no knock on what you're saying, but like, we do a little bit of research before we come on here and we talk about things. We came across a few YouTube videos that spoke on the use of like,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
All the fillers, man.
All the fillers in conversations. And I want to point out, I think it's a dynamic between, or should I want to say dichotomy between somebody who might have wrote that and then somebody from down south. I feel like down south, we got a slower pace and a slower way of speaking, and a lot of those type things when they was written, I feel like might have been a way to kind of curb intelligent people from speaking publicly, one, or making them think they couldn't have the intelligence to be up to par in certain situations. You know what I'm saying?
But like I said, I think it just depends on how you take it. Like I said, I really just think it depends on how you take it. Because, like, I mean, I told the man a story about my father. When in the military, father from the country town, Manning. You know what I'm saying? Grew up on farms, man. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know it. Yeah, y'all don't know him, man.
Yeah, man.
Y'all might know him, man.
Like I said, he just felt like when he went in the military, he was as intelligent as a lot of the guys that he met. So he, hey, look, man, let me step my game up, man. Like I told him, man, my dad's penmanship, man, his calligraphy skills are beyond par. Believe that, you know what I'm saying? Like the way he writes, like you would think, you know, like damn, you know what I'm saying? This looks like something that could be printed up in a magazine. Like, you know how like the Declaration of Independence looks and stuff like that. Like, this is how he be writing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just regular. You know what I'm saying, writing a letter or whatnot. But you know, like I said, it's a way to train yourself.
I can testify to a story like that too about myself being in the military. Like when you said that same thing, going in the military again, you meet people from all over. You start realizing where your education kind of stands amongst other people who from other states. And I know for myself, I just had this conversation with my partner Eric Tanner. We were just kind of in DM talking. I was like, man, you don't know. You might not know this, but you kind of inspired me and impressed me in a lot of ways because you were so versed in a lot of different subjects. Well versed. Like you could speak on almost anything, and you was like 1, maybe 2 years older than me. So finally, I just asked him like, bro, how you know so much? You so young, like you got a lot of wisdom about you, bro. And he was like, man, I do a lot of reading, man. You see, every time we get a little free time, I'm over in the corner with a book. Like, man, okay. And then it's not. I'm gonna tell you something about reading again. I said this last week. When you read when you're around people who read books, you don't necessarily have to read the book because they can they can tell you, you know what I'm saying, the definite message of the book, so you can kind of get the knowledge from it. But I asked them what type of books, man, and those type of things right there just open so many doors when you see how many different types of books out there, and how many different
most definitely.
Ways you can go about it. And when you find that niche about something you want to read about, oh man, like you really become enlightened, and that can also help you with your communication skills. Because when you're speaking on something, you more in tune with the surroundings you're in, so you got a better choice, or you got a better knowledge of knowing what words to use.
Also, when you read, I feel like, you know, it enhances your vocabulary. So I also feel like when you have a vaster vocabulary, you can sit back and bring up more words and everything. Your mind is working a lot more, where like you don't have to use as many fillers. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, this is different ways. Like I feel like, everybody has their different ways about it, and I'm not telling anybody like you have to speak a particular way or be a particular way. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you do want to sit back and correct that, like you feel like you maybe use too many fillers when you speak. There are ways to correct that. Trust me, you're not stuck that way. And you developing better communication skills can help you, develop more, grow more in your business, in your life, help you bring more business to your business. Because the way you communicate with people is, believe me, it really, really helps. As far as that could be the difference between you and another person in an interview. Just how you communicate with the employer on how they communicate with the employer.
Absolutely, we had talked about that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to speak on too, man, is a word that I didn't learn myself until I was past 30, man. And I ain't ashamed to say it, but that's the reason why we had this podcast, because I'm trying to put you on game if you ain't never heard of the word before. And it's lexicon. Lexicon. You need to know the lexicon of the subject from which you speaking of. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is the word lexicon, I broke it down to him like this. It's almost like your word bank for your particular subject. So whatever your particular expertise may be, there's certain words that pertains particularly to that subject. I'm gonna give you a great example right here that just came to me. You literally have to go to law school or hire a lawyer in order to understand the lexicon that's in the lawyer jargon.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Like you got, So it's little stuff like that. If you're a doctor and you're a cardiologist, you working on respiratory system, hearts, that type of stuff. you need to know the lexicon.
Yeah.
It's more than just saying I do operational art.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Little stuff like that.
You know, basically, you know, everything that encompasses
Mm-hmm.
that particular subject. You know what I'm saying? That's the lexicon of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's word. But like I said, you know, you expanded your vocabulary and you wanted to find out. You probably heard somebody that said it, or you read it somewhere. And then, oh man, what the hell is that? Look it up, lexicon. Oh, okay, word. You know what I'm saying? Or I got it from where you read, interpreted what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Word. I'm gonna start using that. You know, I like that. You know what I'm saying? So you added that to your vocabulary, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, which expands, like I said, your knowledge and everything. Always grow, man. Always try to get better.
Always grow. Always try to get better. I think adding words to your vocabulary is a beautiful thing for you to do. It's been times where I've been watching something on television. It might be something like pardon the interruption, or on a Sunday morning you get a lot of political shows, and they'll start hitting you with a lot of words. I remember the last word I looked up was oligarch. So I remember, and I was like, you got Google right here on your phone. You can literally pause the TV, somebody say something you don't know, Google it, Google define oligarch. Google is gonna hit you with the definition, boom, which is like basically the 1% upper echelon, the rich, the richest of the rich. You understand what I'm saying? The people who make the deep state shake. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that type of thing, but just employ yourself to strengthen your vocabulary by any means necessary, because it can help you speak better. It can help you convey your thoughts in a more crispy, more pristine, more direct manner.
Yeah, because sometimes there are particular words that describe something a lot better than another word may describe it, even though they may be synonyms of each other.
Absolutely.
But like this word really emphasizes that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, it's just, you know, get your communication skills up better. You know what I'm saying? This is our interpretation of it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, believe us, there have been times in our lives where the way we communicated with people, you know what I'm saying, got us in better situations in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Either got us jobs or just got us somewhere where we needed to be.
I'm going to say the opposite. It's been times in our lives where we communicated terribly, and that got us in a terrible position in our lives. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's very imperative for you to be able to convey your thoughts on the highest of levels, on the clearest of levels. Clarity is key.
Yeah.
When you're talking about what you want to say to a person, it shouldn't be any gray area.
I also feel like communication skills are like ways to adapt yourself also, because there are particular ways in particular situations that you can be in where if you communicate a certain way, it's not going to come off right, or it's not going to get taken right.
You can be over. You can.
So you can adapt your way you communicate. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. That's another skill set.
Speaking in terms of that, there's times in a conversation where you might need to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
There's times in a conversation where you might need to be a little more passive. There's times in a conversation where you need to just make statements. And there's times in the conversation equally that you need to shut up and listen.
I mean, honestly, if you just even look at the way we communicate, you know, just doing the podcast, it's a certain way that you have to do it in order for it to blend together.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes skills, it takes communication to learn that and adapt to that. Like I said, so definitely, man, that's a big, big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Big thing.
Yeah.
All right, moving forward, man. We ain't even gonna play with y'all today, man, because we hitting the fast forward button. We getting close up on our Corona curfew. We ain't got all day to be sitting around here. So this next thing we gonna bust y'all head with, man. Hey, what's going on with Dojacat, man? Like, I've been seeing on live, IG, songs that just, I don't know, man. It's like she'll spit out Nicki. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. She don't look like Nicki, of course. Well, she kind of sort of do, but that we.
Well, I mean, you know, to an extent, you know how that goes.
But man, Rhapsody, SaRoc, man, we need y'all, man. Like, it comes to the forefront of this rap thing, because if I had a daughter, man, I would not want her listening to this type of music, man.
Well, like I said, I've heard of Dojacat, and it wasn't really too familiar with her music. You know, we decided we were going to talk about it. You know, watch some of, listen to some of her music and everything. And, I mean, the first thing that stood out to me was just like, oh, she the next Nicki Minaj, she the next Cardi B. Like, you know, that it just really just stood out to me because it was just kind of like, okay, she's sexy, she dresses promiscuously.
Hold on, let me stop you right here. That's more than Meg? You think that's more than Meg the Stallion?
I'm not gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. It just, to me, it was just the next notch. I mean, Meg the Stallion, you can notch her in there. You know what I'm saying as well. I feel like right now that's the model. That's the base of what they're looking for. Yeah. Can you rap? Okay, cool. You got flow. You look good. Okay, blam. Now, can you be sexy and give that? You know what I'm saying? Can you dress a little bit differently but promiscuously? Can you look, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you can do that. Okay, blam. You that next one we throwing out there.
I feel like they do that with a majority of them, man. Because a majority of the chicks ain't like it too many, like unattractive, I would say, female rapper type chicks.
I mean, how many out there that you could really just name?
Saweetie, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Doja, Lizzo,
Meg the Stallion.
Meg the Stallion. Is it? I don't know. Not Lizzo. It's some. It's another rap chick. She kind of I don't know how to say it without stepping on nobody's toes. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, but you kind of see what I'm saying. How you like it's taking you a minute to
yeah, you can't just come out with them.
The ones that you know about and you hear about, for the most part, they're in that same mold to me. It's in that same mold. I
told you, man. The only one I feel like is SaRoc and Rhapsody when it comes to
breaking out that mold.
Breaking out that mold. And having the lyrics to stand on a track that don't really involve pussy all every other bar.
Now that's the one thing I will say is, I mean, nothing wrong. I'm not a big Cardi B fan as far as like I don't really play her music. But I mean, you know, also I don't play too much American music as anyway. But my homeboy, you know what I'm saying, his lady listens to Cardi B. So, you know, just riding with her, he's heard quite a few of her songs. He's played a few for me, and honestly, like I ain't gonna lie to you, everything isn't about pussy popping and doing all this and that. Sometimes she hits you with some lyrics and stuff, and I've even heard Nicki sometimes hit you with some lyrics and some songs and everything, but she also knows what's selling, what's gonna put money in the bank. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give you some of these tracks here. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm talking about this stuff here. Because she knows that's what's gonna be getting spun, that's what's getting played out here. So it's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's all about making the money. Like, don't get it wrong.
Yeah, they definitely. That's the thing right there. It's definitely all about making the money. That's why I keep screaming out like SaRoc and Rhapsody name, because they might not be getting to the bag on the Nicki level. They might not be getting the bag on the Cardi level, but at the same time, that's almost like the definition when they say you selling your soul.
That's real. That's exactly it.
Yeah, that's exactly because what's happening is with these things is Dojacat and Nicki Minaj, they rapping, and like you said, they moving that music so they can, because they know that's going to sell. But at the same time, the ramifications for that, for all of the females, or all of the little girls.
The little girl looking just like you.
Yeah. Compared to when you pick a SaRoc or a Rhapsody to listen to, they getting straight gems and their mind is getting molded on a whole nother level. And the thing that's crazy is when you look at Cardi B, like she'll sit down and have a conversation with Sanders. What's buddy name? It just skipped my mind. But you know the dude that was running for president.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. She'll sit down and have a conversation with him and come across like she knows what she's doing. She come across like she's smart enough to know what she's doing in the booth can transcend into society on another level.
Yeah.
And have a ripple effect. So I just wonder to myself, like,
I mean, don't get it wrong.
Us as a culture don't choose the otherwise. It's almost like if let's say you in a situation where you got a little girl in the crib and you got a choice where you can pick what you want to listen to.
Oh yeah, she ain't listening to that.
Exactly. So that's just my thing. Cause
but see, my whole thing about that is if you really think about rap, man, it's always been like that. But honestly, if you really think about rap, the first female artists, rappers, MC Light, Queen Latifah, you know, they weren't really on that. You know, they were more just on that rapping. Like you could sit back and let your damn daughter listen to that. But then it was kind of like Biggie told damn, you know what I'm saying, Lil Kim, like, look, we got that. You know, people done that. We need something different out here, man. You know what I'm saying? We need something a little more sexy out here. And it blew. It blew, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like Foxy Brown after that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it was just kind of like, it did stop for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Because then it was a little, rappers like, oh, what's her name?
You had the two that come to mind that broke that mold was Bahamadia and Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill was
Lauryn Hill is the one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, Lauryn Hill can just straight rap though. Like,
but it was just kind of like, if Lauryn Hill had continued to make music, it would have been more female artists coming up in that mold. But it was like she just made that one album and she stopped.
Well, you know she got the Fuji too. She got a lot of.
Well, I know she got a lot of Fuji, but it wasn't until the education of, you know what I'm saying?
Miseducation.
The Miseducation. It wasn't until that album dropped where she became global like that, where it was just like, oh my God, have you heard that album? And it was just like I said, yeah, I'll be playing songs like that, like I said, from a little girl. But I'm not about to be playing something from Lil Kim album or anything.
Yeah. Oh, Meg the Stallion. And it's sad because I want them to win. It's not like we hating on them. It's just
I mean, you
gotta be kind of wary on what's being conveyed to your youngins when you in certain situations.
Hey, look, I'm not telling anybody how to make their money or anything like that. I'm not the person. Trust me, I'm not the person to sit back and tell somebody else what they should be doing or what they shouldn't be doing. Trust me, because I could be sitting back, people be throwing stones at my glass house. You know what I'm saying? The same way, but I'm not gonna do that. But I understand your point. You know what I'm saying, of that. But don't get it twisted. You know, they know what they selling and everything like that. They know what they doing and stuff because they know what people want to see. They know what's taking on.
Ain't no being naive in what they got going on. Yeah. The only naiveness that I'm speaking on might be from the parent situation who may not have been as influenced by rap back when they were younger, or may not realize how rap can influence the younger mind.
Yeah.
So that's the only people. That's the only naive. You know what I'm saying? Naivete. I guess I'm speaking to it.
I guess I feel like this here.
Like,
oh, go ahead.
Nah, you good.
Well, man, I feel like this here. You could have listened to rap music in the '90s and listened to it for what it was, or listened to it and let it influence you to the point where now you banging on the streets and you really trying to live this story and these stories that they're out here portraying in the raps. Man, I look at it the same way, man. Like, I've never been the type of person where I went crazy over any celebrity, whether it was a basketball celebrity, football, actor, music artist, or anything. Like, hey, look, I appreciate you, and I like your movies, I like your music. That's it, you know what I'm saying? The people to me, the one whose kids went just nuts, like, oh my God, Boys the Men, or oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying, fucking, you know, Babyface or whoever, you know what I'm saying, the ones that go extra over the top, those the ones, to me, I feel like if you allow your kid to get that much influence and just love somebody that they don't know to that extent, they can be influenced by the music. You know what I'm saying? To where now they are trying to really be like Cardi B, really be like Nicki, instead of just looking at it as like, oh, I like that song she got. I ain't about to wear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I got more respect for myself. You know what I'm saying? She's out here wearing that. Don't get it wrong. Beyonce even dresses to that extent, but everybody has respect for Beyonce, so what's the difference? The difference is the type of music that Beyonce makes in comparison. She might be popping and shaking it on the video, but she's not singing about that.
I would also say it's how they conduct themselves off stage too. When you see Beyonce with her ass out, you know what I mean? She's on stage performing like the women that came before her. Not saying that need to be necessarily the standard, but it just seems like that's something that's in our culture. Women don't change with their ass out. That's what it is. Okay, so cool. But you also see her take care of her daughter, and you also, and not saying Cardi B don't either. Because this ain't no knock. This ain't no knock on how you raising. This is more so us just, or me speaking, like, look.
I think it has a lot to do with the music, just off the strength that you can play Beyonce's music in front of certain people, and it's not going to offend them. Yeah. Where if you play certain songs that got Cardi B songs, you're not gonna be able to play that around certain people and get offended. And regardless if Beyonce was popping and shaking in that video.
It's because of the explicit vulgarity of it. Because Beyonce is gonna talk about her pussy as well, but
classy way.
In a classy way that women in R&B have been doing for decades. Alright, but when you hear Cardi, because she in a male-dominated rap. Mm-hmm. And we rap about how big our dick is, or however you want to look at it. The same situation is gonna come from I feel like Cardi, because she's gonna speak to that rawness of what she wants as a female from that perspective.
But don't get it wrong. I mean, there's other women that do that as well. But like, man, her name escapes me. Old girl rap with Fat Joe.
Remy Ma.
I mean, she may talk about her pussy, but she's not talking about it in the same way that Cardi B and them were talking about it. Definitely. She might be talking about it more on like, motherfucker respect this because this pussy's the shit or something like that. Where, you know, like they might be screaming about how, like, you know, whatever is popping and the shaking, like, you know what I'm saying? It's hot and wet, you know, come get that. You know,
like, you know, like, we would love to know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you listen to Remy Ma, or if you listen to SaRoc, if you listen to Rhapsody, if you listen to Cardi B, if you listen to Dojacat, we'll let it know if you listen to it and run it in front of your kids. This ain't no judging type situation. We just speaking from, I know I'm speaking from my experience and the type of rap that I listen to. It's not like nobody was around me listening to it. I kind of gravitated towards myself, but I ain't had nobody to filter the music I was listening to. So I was just listening to whatever. And I can honestly say that as I got older, I was able to reflect on a younger age and realize how influenced I was by some of the music that I was listening to at that time. So I just want to point that out. Not saying everybody's like that, but you know what I'm saying? We speaking on that for the hip hop segment.
Yeah, and I want to just kind of bounce on that just real quick. Like, I feel the same way now. Like, it influenced me as well when I was younger, but because of my upbringing, I didn't allow it to influence me, but to an extent, because I already knew I'm not about to be thugging it out here. My dad be the first one to kill my ass. You know what I'm saying? So I already knew from my upbringing, like, I'm not about to take it but so far. Okay, yeah, I might smoke a little bud or something like that because of this here, but I'm not out here slinging crack. You know what I'm saying? Because of this here, because Biggie, somebody told me to do it, Jay told me to do it or whatnot. Nah. See, that's why I kind of feel like if you are, or if you feel like your kid is old enough, you can play that music around your kid, sit back and realize that you also have a responsibility to know that, hey, look, I'm not gonna, my kid knows that she's not gonna be able to get influenced by this. Yeah. It's just a song.
It's key to know or to convey to your kids and let them know that some of the rap that they listen to, not all of it, some of it, majority of it, is like WWF, WCW.
Bomb. It's a show.
It's a show. Entertainment.
It's a show.
You know what I mean? So
it's a show.
If you listen to real rap, if you listen to real lyrics, you're aware of what stuff is being seeped into your brain. You're aware of the stuff that's being seeped into your surroundings. If you just want to be entertained, be aware that some people can't differentiate, depending on the age, the difference between entertainment and real life. So they might start soaking some of that bad characteristic stuff as reality.
Plus, people are willing to do different things, man, to get that bag. Everybody has their limits, man. Hey, some people willing to go all the way to porn. Some people go even further than that. They just be on the straight street, just hooking with it. You know what I'm saying? Male and female. I'm not even trying to classify anything. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, that's real. I'm just being honest. But some people sit back and, like, they don't have that. They're like, hey, look, I'm not going that far with it. I'm not willing to do that to make that bag. You know what I'm saying? Some people willing to shake their ass with a little bit of clothes on camera. Some women ain't willing to do that.
Said male and female prostitutes out here trying to chase that bag on the corner. Now that's the part that got me. We go, and this is the sweet podcast, man, where you can get this realness. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's how we know.
That's how we know. Shit. That's how I put it. Like, hey, look, man, it's different levels, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their limits, man. Like I said, man. So don't sit back and just see somebody making that bag a certain way and you're not that person, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to be that person, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, hey, look, man, teach kids, man. Teach kids out here, man.
Teach the kids out here, man.
Word.
That need to go on a t-shirt, man. Teach the kids out here, man.
I'm telling you now, sweet now, sweet now. Giving it to
Straight
you.
up.
Word.
Hey, man, Sound Wisdom examining everyone's perspective, man. This your boy Yadda, man. Got my homeboy with me.
Socadocious, man, I'm telling you.
Hey, man. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we coming at you like this.
Sweet, baby.
Appreciate the likes, appreciate the subscribe, appreciate the shares on Facebook. Shout out to my goddaughter, Taylor, man, it's her birthday.
Okay, happy birthday.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, all that good stuff. So,
exclusive, battle tested.
Yeah, don't forget to get that banks about the battle tested. Y'all approved, man. It's the sweet.
Welcome to Carolina where them boys stack cheese.